Is our world moving towards World War III? This question has been keeping me up at night. What if the next global conflict isn't about land or resources or even ideology? What if it's fought over something far more valuable in today's world? Data. It may sound far-fetched, but when you look at the current state of affairs, the idea becomes less of a conspiracy and more of a real possibility. Cyber warfare is already being waged across the globe with major players like the United States. Russia and China regularly engaging in cyber attacks against one another. These attacks are not just for espionage purposes, but also to disrupt and destroy critical infrastructure, steal intellectual property, and influence public opinion. As the lines between physical and cyber warfare continue to blur, the potential for a large-scale global conflict has never been greater. The fear of World War III has been a constant companion throughout the Cold War era and beyond. But what if this fear is not entirely unfounded? Could we really be on the brink of a third world war? And if so, how will it be different from the conflicts of the past? The recent escalation in tensions between the U.S. and China over Taiwan has raised concerns that we may be entering into a new Cold War. China's increasingly aggressive stance towards Taiwan, coupled with the U.S. commitment to defend the island, has created a tinderbox that could easily ignite into a major conflict. But this is only one piece of the puzzle. There are other factors that indicate that we may be on the cusp of a larger global conflict. The first factor to consider is the rise of China as a global power. China's rapid economic and military growth has challenged the existing world order and has caused many countries to feel threatened. This has led to a deterioration in relations between China and the West, which in turn has increased the risk of conflict. China's territorial claims in the South China Sea, its support for North Korea's nuclear program, and its crackdown on pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong have all contributed to the growing tensions. Another key factor is the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused a major rift between the West and Russia, leading to increased sanctions and military support for Ukraine. This has led to fears that the conflict could escalate into a wider European war. The potential for nuclear escalation is a particularly worrying aspect of the conflict, as Russia has made veiled threats about using tactical nuclear weapons. In addition to these two major factors, there are also a number of smaller conflicts and tensions that are contributing to the risk of a wider war. The recent conflict between Israel and Gaza, for example, has shown how quickly a small conflict can escalate into a major regional war. Similarly, the ongoing conflict in Syria has drawn in a number of international players, including Russia, the United States, and Iran, raising fears that it could spiral out of control. So what does this all mean for the future of our world? Are we really on the brink of World War III? The truth is that no one can say for sure. But it is important to take the threat of war seriously and to be prepared. We should not become complacent and assume that a nuclear war is impossible. In fact, it is crucial to recognize the very real possibility of such a conflict and to work towards preventing it. One way to do this is to engage in diplomacy and to seek peaceful resolutions to conflicts. The current state of affairs is unsustainable, and the risk of a major conflict is too great to ignore. We need to find a way to de-escalate tensions and to build trust between nations. It is also essential to strengthen international institutions and to uphold the rules-based international order. The UN Security Council, for example, could play a greater role in preventing conflicts and in promoting peace. Similarly, the International Court of Justice could be more active in settling disputes between nations. Moreover, we must not forget the importance of public diplomacy. People-to-people exchanges and cultural diplomacy can help to build understanding and cooperation between nations. By promoting education and exchanges, we can help to create a more peaceful and stable world. However, it is also important to be prepared for the worst-case scenario. We need to have a robust nuclear non-proliferation regime in place and to strengthen measures to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons. Additionally, we should invest in new technologies and strategies for nuclear risk reduction, such as advanced sensors and real-time monitoring systems. It is also essential to have clear and effective deterrent strategies in place to prevent nuclear attacks. It is not enough to rely on past assumptions about nuclear deterrence. We need to be aware of the evolving security environment and to adapt accordingly. While it is essential to take steps to prevent a nuclear war, it is equally important not to let fear paralyze us. A nuclear war would be a devastating event, but it is not inevitable. We should not allow fear to dictate our actions or to prevent us from engaging in diplomacy and seeking peaceful solutions. Instead, we should focus on building a more stable and secure world through dialogue, cooperation, and mutual understanding. It is easy to succumb to the fear and pessimism when it comes to the threat of nuclear war. However, it is important to remember that fear is not a productive emotion, and that we have the ability to shape our future. We should not give in to the belief that a nuclear war is inevitable, or that there is nothing we can do to prevent it. Instead, we should focus on building a better future through diplomacy, cooperation, and a commitment to peace. What are your thoughts on the matter? You think our world is moving towards World War III? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, please share this video with your friends and family. If you liked this video, then you'll definitely love the next one. So make sure you watch the next one. Thanks for watching.